My name is Mike Ruma. I'm a maternal fetal medicine specialist. I work at Perinatal Associates in New Mexico, and what we're going to talk about today is the EPIQ and Affinity ultrasound platforms, the latest release of software, which incorporates a variety of new features. aBiometry Assist is basically fetal anatomic recognition that allows us to detect a biparietal diameter, an occipital frontal diameter, head circumference, abdominal circumference, and femur length. All right, we're going to do a demo of aBiometry Assist technology on the Philips EPIQ and Affinity systems. And what I have on the monitor here is an image of the fetal head. And I'd like to walk you through capturing both the feed from the screen as well as what goes on the touch screen. And so traditionally, we have to use our left hand and click measure. And I'm going to change this to manual to simulate what we would do in a manual fashion. So again, click measure, maneuver the calipers to the upper portion of the biparietal diameter and move it down to the inner portion of the biparietal diameter, and then select the biparietal diameter and then hit acquire. Next, we will have to click measure again, bringing up another caliper, select the front portion of the head for the occipital frontal diameter, the back portion of the head for the occipital frontal diameter, accept those measurements as the OFD, and then acquire. So using the trackball and having to do this. We're going to then erase these, and I'm going to deploy and measure the head circumference. So we're going to click head circumference, and what you're going to see is I again have to use my left hand a bit, maneuver over to the back of the head, alternate the ellipse and select and maneuver the ellipse to make sure I'm happy with that, and then actually acquire that measurement. So next we're going to measure the abdominal circumference, and I'll show you how that works in a manual fashion. So we have our abdominal circumference, and I'm going to select abdominal circumference, and now I need to measure it. So we place the caliper at the front of the abdomen, we place the caliper at the back of the abdomen, we make the size of the ellipse slightly smaller to work around the belly, and you can see this requires sometimes a bit of manipulation, and we finally accept that. Now we're going to go and find our femur. We identify the femur, and let me show you how we're going to measure that manually. So we're going to have our femur, and traditionally we would click measure, come to the lateral epiphyses here, and track over using the trackball again, just taking time to find that correctly, and hit femur length and acquire. I'm going to erase this and show you what this would look like using Biometry Assist. And so we're going to turn that on. And again, I'd like to measure the biparietal diameter. I'm going to push one button. I'd like to measure the occipital frontal diameter. I'm going to push one button. I'd like to measure the head circumference. And the head circumference is measured with the tool, using simply pushing the button and not adjusting anything with the left hand, as the anatomical intelligence identifies the structures that we need. To our next image, and we need to select the belly. Instead of measuring the entire ellipse, adjusting it, we've collected and frozen our abdominal circumference image. We're going to press the AC button, and the abdominal circumference deploys perfectly, and we accept that. We are simply going to hit the femur length, and it deploys in a perfect fashion, measuring the bone the way we would want without any manipulation using the roller ball or the touch buttons on the machine interface. We have seen a significant reduction in keystrokes, and we have also seen a reduction in actual time it takes to conduct completion of those measurements. It provides utility, particularly in our practice, because we are a busy maternal fetal medicine practice. We do thousands of ultrasounds a year, and really anything that saves us time on each patient throughout a day helps us to provide better care to patients, because I can actually spend more time with the patient if I'm doing less measuring. I can also actually spend more time seeing additional patients. So all of this adds up to a more efficient office and better care for the patient. 3D93V as a transvaginal transducer is an excellent transducer. It provides incredible imaging quality. This software release incorporates the capacity to use the tilt feature. It allows us to actually steer the imaging without having to manipulate the actual transducer. Instead of having to maneuver with the probe, we are able to leave the probe in the mid-plane and use the rotary dial and actually rotate and tilt and visualize the structure with that fashion, allowing the patient to be more comfortable during the exam and eliminating a significant amount of maneuvering of the actual transducer probe.